Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth, heading down the mountain today. Yeah, pretty fired up. So you have any soem, sir? My wife reads all the comments when she's in the city waiting for her clients. Okay, yeah. A point I'm getting to is my wife reads the comments, and she was reading the recent comments because there's been a huge uptick of subscribers and viewers. You know, I don't really understand how it all works, but it does. And it's interesting how everything's right on time. Everything shows up exactly when it's supposed to. So she was reading the comments, and it was all about how she was like, dude, people just want positivity, and they want to know how to fail and succeed, how to use failure as success. And I think I'm an example of that, because I have rebuilt my life out of the ashes of the failure of my life. And having a positive mental attitude is hugely important to it all. And so what I was thinking about this morning is I was like, you would know, some of you would, but I've gotten called in by the studios a bunch of times over the last 7 years. I've gotten called in to meet with producers and this and that about and talk to them about doing shows and stuff. And I've always been rebuffed because I'm not conflict driven content. And I keep explaining to these guys, right? You have to understand, like, I live in the industry. I know a bunch of these people. And I go, look, man, the new generation, next generation coming out doesn't want your formula. They're not into it. They're growing up on shaky cams and crooked angles and bad edits and real people that they can get a hold of, and real people with real problems and real solutions and all of that. And then I look at a lot of the YouTube content as well, and it's pretty conflict driven as well. So I look at the demographic, the high frequency tribe, and what's going on. And so I think what sort of my struggle has been is to get close. And I don't get close for the sense of like self-aggrandizement, like, ooh, I need to be the center of the stage. Though, you know, my personality is a little bit narcissistic. I won't deny that. But I have a mission inside of this whole thing, and that is to like vibrate the frequency higher, to make the world a better place through action versus talking. But that's funny because I do a lot of talking here. But then again, I got to push the button and upload this and actually, like, so it is an action that I take to make these videos and do the stuff I do in the videos. So I go and I pitch myself to these guys in town. I don't really care one way or the other, but I got super frustrated because my buddies who are viewers out there, we made some shows. You can look at them in the thing, the Illusion show. But I would go in and I'd pitch these guys, and they're like, well, there's no like conflict and it's too positive. I actually got told that once, like, it's too positive. Your ideas are too positive. And I'm like, you don't understand that the next generation coming out they don't want conflict. Conflict is the old way, man, though. And I think that, you know, here we are on Spaceship Earth and being spiritual beings, and the whole thing is, I mean, these are the final gasps of conflict going on right now on the planet. Like, it's sink or swim time for humanity. Like, we either figure it out as humanity or we just turn into a ball of dust, man. Like, the choice is ours. And that overwhelms me sometimes. I mean, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I can definitely get into some like funks about what's going on Spaceship Earth and be like, whoa, dude, this seems insurmountable. But I always have to regroup and realize that reality is just a reflection of my inner self. And if I choose this to be doom and gloom, it will be doom and gloom. But I choose again. I choose different. I don't want it. That's not the reality I want to raise my kids in, man. I'm a believer, dude. I'm a true believer that humanity is gonna pull this off and vibrate to the next frequency and the highest frequency available, and that we have to go through these growing pains. I look at it through my life and I go, pain is the touchstone to spiritual growth, right? If you don't have any pain, you can't grow. And I think a lot of people get stuck in these painful parts of their lives and just go, oh, this sucks. Not realizing that that's the gift if you choose to accept the gift. Like, I just look at like the last little period of my life I've been in, you know, like I got into a super kind of painful, negative like thought cycle for like a couple months here at the beginning of the year. But to emerge out of it, like I've grown, and I have a reinvigorated positive outflow, which is like a self-perpetuating loop. Like I can literally look at my analytics on my YouTube channel and see it. Like right when I decided to change my frequency, boom, huge upticks. Huge spikes. And I'm like, all right. And that gets me pumped. That's where I'm like, dude, I need to make this video going down the hill, because my wife's like, dude, people are dying for like some positivity, but they don't want it sugar coated. They don't want it edited. And that's half the reason I don't do a lot of editing on this kind of stuff, is that makes it fake, right? You can go watch anyone edit their content down to make it appear to be any way they want it to be. When I hit the play button, I truly only have like a kernel of what I'm going to talk about. And as I talk, it develops. And sometimes I talk myself right into the corner, and other times I vibrate right through it to the next level. So it's, you know, it's performance art on a certain level, but it's also an inner truth on another level, and it's me trying to figure out how I'm gonna operate, how it's gonna be for me. Am I gonna sit and stare at my fingernails, or am I gonna get up and embrace the day and go spread positivity? It's a battle some days. Some days I am just the problem, and the problem is me. See, from what I understand, there can be no conflict on Spaceship Earth unless I'm actively participating in it. So in order to stop conflict, I have to stop participating in conflict. But I'm a crazy monkey at the same time, man. Like, I'm a primitive man on a certain level. Like, ready to battle woolly mammoths. Like, that's part of my DNA. So I have to channel that energy differently. I can't go out and battle woolly mammoths today. So where do I put that sort of aggressive male energy? You know, I can put it in surfing and skateboarding, but if I don't really truly check in with myself and be in touch with myself and pretend that I'm something I'm not, it creeps out sideways, man. Next thing you know, I'm grumpy, angry, and I'm frustrated, and this and that. Oh, look, a couple little peelers right there. Ooh. Yeah, so like I'm gonna go get in the water right now just to paddle it out, dude, just to put myself in the ocean. Because the one thing I know, go stick yourself in the ocean and feel how powerless you are. That's half the reason I love being a surfer, is the powerlessness of it, and the ability to have to be in, wow, they're laying some trails today. Anyway, that's another trip, dude. But that doesn't even bum me out, man, because like they can't take my truth away, which is that I'm an infinite beam of light, and that I'm only just experiencing this human form for a brief period. And I have to remember that constantly. So look, whatever's going on here, man, it's all up to us to take charge of it. We are in charge of our own reality. So wherever you're sitting, just ask yourself, how's it gonna be, man? How's it gonna be? And I know it's not that easy. I struggle with it. When it's working, and when it's not, man. And I can't flip the switch. My wife, she can flip the switch, dude. Bing, dude, like, yeah, okay. And I would look at it and I'm like, how do you do that? I want to do that. I want to be able to just sit and be like bummed out and be like, nah, I'm not going to be bummed out anymore. I'm going to change my mind. But that's marvelous, dude. That is marvelous. But you know what? It's a work in progress. I think the gap has shrunk for me there, and I'm able to it used to be like a 3-day window, and now I got it down to like, you know, a 30-minute window maybe. Anyway, this is The Illusion, reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth, driving down the PCH.